We are living one of the most transformative moments, and this is the best time to talk about this topic. Winter is coming, right? So this moment where AI is not a tool. For the first time, a common man around the world, from Sri Lanka to Africa, wherever you are, US, any part of the world, you have an interface to communicate with AI. High performance computers is a simple interface. It's never been done. So your message can be reached, your information can be reached, and any single industry, every single industry can be optimized to the core. So AI become like a co-pilot. It run every single industry. But whether this industrial technology can be applicable for a lifestyle-oriented industry like tourism, can we consider AI can transform tourism industry as well? It's already transforming dramatically in finance sector, numbers, where we're working on. Obviously, that's what computation and computer power you can use. Medical industry, obviously, they use technology for dramatic usages in the past. Billion, trillion dollar industry. Well, definitely there's an AI. Tourism, in the other hand, it's a style-oriented business. It's all about experience. One of the major flaw or a loophole against AI is it can't think empathetically. It can't work like a human experience. It's just a machine. It works on numbers and crunching mechanisms and so on. Can AI can understand human behavior and work on the lifestyle? So this is an important topic what we're going to talk about. And it's crazy that with the Gen Z ecosystem and the environment where the industry is moving towards more lifestyle oriented compared to buying assets and so on, this industry moving on towards lifestyle, they purchase experience. So this is a perfect time period we are considering tourism and leisure. It's something we have to put more effort to technology to consider. And I don't understand the Gen Z's culture that nomad, how your vacation and work can be combined and you can work on a vacation. I don't realize how it works. Maybe I'm too old school on for this. So this is today's topic. It's very interesting. We're going to explore how this entire trend of experience and lifestyle can involve AI and technology, and people can take talking to a robot, talking to a bot, talking to an AI, still get the experience just like they are getting it from human. How it can be expand in a scalable way, not just man-to-man communication, it just become AI to man communication. So we're going to talk a lot. So we're going to talk about how we keep travel human when it is much become automated, more than human just interacting. How to destinations stay competitive when travelers now expecting personalization, transparency, and instance engagement. So how AI can involve on those. How we can ensure technology reduce inequality instead of winding that. So tourism, you're traveling around. So how this experience can be sold, how the culture can be sold, how this experience can be conveyed to technology. We have amazing 3 resources today. But to open up our session, I really love to have Peter Syme, a global tourism digital transformation expert from UK and Scottish, basically. So welcome on board, Peter. So the stage is yours. So Peter is one of very few people who has both built and scalable tourism business and led digital transformation across market. He understands tourism not from spreadsheet, but he live experience, operate customers, technologies, and crisis recovery. He hands-on on all those things. When Peter talk about resilience or tech-enabled experience from its battlefield to global tourism, it's something we would love to share with the entire world. So Peter, how you see, and give a stage for the entire conversation today, how you see digital transformation and AI infusion going to be transformed the entire tourism and the experience industry? Over to you.
Thanks very much for the invite and welcome to everybody who's here today. Thank you very much for turning up. So I've been exceedingly privileged in life to have been given the opportunity to build tourism companies in multiple countries around the world. And I've also been about long enough to see the different technologies over periods of decades. So when I first started, the internet did not exist. So first time I was traveling, first time I was in there, first time I was in Asia, there was no internet. So that gives you the perspective and the history and the luck to see a lot of things that we're seeing now have actually happened before. Now, this is very, very different this time, but having the perspective of going from one industry setup and technology setup to another technology setup to another technology setup gives you perspective. And the one bit of that perspective I want to get across is AI is not a threat to tourism. AI is an opportunity to tourism. In tourism and travel, technology has never, ever to this day replaced human beings. Online booking, when it came before, we didn't have online booking. Online booking came, it didn't kill the travel agents. It changed the travel agents, but it didn't kill them. OTAs, online travel aggregators, didn't kill operators, didn't kill tour operators or hotels. It changed how they interacted, but it didn't kill them off. So technology is never killing off tourism. Technology makes tourism change. Now, moving into AI, AI strips out the parts of tourism that many people working in tourism do not like doing. All of the inbox overload, pricing, scheduling, answering the same question from customers 500 times. Everybody thinks of tourism as the shiny, great experience at the front, but in the back end, there's thousands of things going on that are repetitive, and we have lots of people doing that. Now, AI is the first technology that's came across in various technology changes that allows us to automate truly the back end, the stuff that we have people doing that they don't really like doing. Now, what does that do to the people? It's going to change their job, but it allows the people in tourism to focus on what they are best at, which is looking after the customer, face-to-face with customers. We're lucky that in my current role, we see thousands of tour operators. We have 22,000 tour operators in the community at the moment, most of them small businesses. This technology is allowing small, tiny businesses with 1 to 5 people to outcompete businesses with thousands of people. That's never happened in any tour technology revolution I've ever seen before. Before, the bigger you were, the more money you were, you could buy the ads, you could buy the technology. The technology was, good technology was more expensive for bigger companies could afford it, smaller companies couldn't. Now, a 2-person operation has access to the same level of technology as a company with $1 billion. They haven't got any more access to that technology. Now, obviously, the big company have got access to more engineers, but as long as the small operators are willing to learn, this technology is flattening the playing field and allowing small to compete with big, which I have never seen before in the last 30 years, not at this level. There is a fear in many in tourism that AI will replace the human guides. Human guides are not going to be replaced by AI. They're going to be enhanced by AI. There's always been an issue in tourism that scaling to really big businesses was really, really difficult. And a lot of that reason was you can make the back end of businesses as efficient as possible, and now we can make them really efficient, but the front end didn't really scale. If you had 100 customers, you needed 5 to 10 guides. If you had 1,000 customers, you needed 10 times that amount. If you had 2,000 customers, you needed 20 times that amount. Now we have systems where we can still have human guides looking after people, but we can also have AI guides scaling where we can't actually have human guides with people. I'll give you a working example of that. There's a museum in Amsterdam that's booked out all the time, Anne Frank Museum. You cannot get a ticket unless you book a ticket. You're booking it weeks ahead. If you turn up, you will not get a ticket. It's booked out. So every day they're turning away business. Every day. Lots of it. Hundreds and hundreds of people. They now have an AI guide. So for all these people who haven't planned ahead and who turn up late, they can't get the human in-person experience because it's booked out, but they can have an AI guide doing the experience. So suddenly, hundreds of customers who didn't have access to an experience do have access to an experience. So again, as well as evening the playing field to make it flat, this is actually producing an environment where small travel businesses, if they want, because many people in tourism do not want to scale up, But if they do want to scale up, they can scale up in a way that enhances the human, because the human becomes the peak of the pyramid, and you will be charging the most money for that human interaction. But further down the pyramid, you can be dealing with mass scale used by AI guides. So the biggest opportunity, there's two opportunities for all of this, and it doesn't matter whether you're in tourism, tour operating, where's my background, or whether you're in small hotels, or whether you're in bigger hotels or lodges or guest houses. The two opportunities are, the market has been flattened. You as a small business have no excuse anymore saying that these big businesses can have more money in me, they have better technology. You have access to the same as they do. And the other advantage is, this is a human-based business. You've now got a technology that you can pair with humans to allow humans to do what they do best, which in tourism is to look after the customer and spend more time with the customer. That's why most people in tourism join the industry. They did not join the industry to sit in an office and be pricing spreadsheets every day, or rewriting itineraries every day, or answering the same question 500 times every day. We now have technology that allows us to do all of that, and that allows small businesses to actually thrive and make more profit in a world of crazy growth, which travel has got. And that's the other thing I should have mentioned. Travel is the one industry in the world that's got growth baked in. The industry is compounding at 4% per year, year on year. Experiences within travel are compounding at 12% year on year. This is without marketing. This is just demographics. Therefore, this is an industry that's got growth guaranteed baked into the system. So as an industry, we have to figure out how are we efficiently going to manage this growth, and AI is certainly one part of that.
Perfect. I mean, you're setting up the stage really well, Peter. So I get that one essence that's very important. AI basically democratize small and big operators in the tourism industry, as you rightly said. So there is no more, you can't just blame the system. They have money, they are rich, they have like 1,000 people in customer care operation. AI can do that. So AI can wake up 24/7 without getting bored. It just talk to people if it's fine-tuned properly. So you are not just, you have an opportunity to compete with large hotel chains, large operators with thousands of billions they have invested in Google AdSense and so on. Now you can do it exact same thing with AI with much more affordability. So that democratization is something definitely AI can bring it to the table for sure. Thank you so much, Peter, for setting up the stage, and it gives amazing topic to discuss further. So Ivan, so it's for you. So I think this is perfect setup for you. You working with operators a lot. So Ivan is an amazing entrepreneur in the tourism industry. Sorry, Motar, I'm really sorry. So Motar Mohidien, a tourism and hospitality entrepreneur and an inventor. So Motar, you working on with tourists and tour operators, right? Motar represent new generation of innovation in transform hospitality and lodging and property tech. He working with bridge the physical and digital world for the operators and the tourism industry, streamlining operations, elevating guest experience, and rethinking what hotel stay can be for the new era, for the Gen Zs and so on. So more, I think Peter set up the stage really well. So now there's no competitive advantage being rich on tourism industry. So the more people you put it in place with investment and you reach out to the people, getting more traction to your industry, AI can do the exact same thing. And you are one of the pioneers on bridging this gap for the small guy have an opportunity to compete with the giants with the power of AI. So I'd love to get your thoughts around how you get into the entrepreneurship and how this entire navigation of digital transformation for the travel operators works.
Thank you so much, Mila. I appreciate the introduction, and greetings to everyone. I hope everyone's here to find value and is going to have a great time. Peter, that was a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much for that. I think I'd like to just touch on one of the main points you mentioned as well, in saying that the main focus of this is, and the main focus of hospitality is the human connection, you know, to the guests, to the operation. And that's really where we are going to see most of the change, and not just how humans deal with your travelers and tourism guests, but deal internally as an operation, you know. And I guess that's where my expertise come in. I do run a hotel apartment in Southern Africa, and once AI started really taking over, I think that was my opportunity in thinking about, you know, how, as an operator, do you shift your internal structure, the people inside your company, to adapt to that next level of AI, collaboration, communication, and integration. And yeah, that's what I'm currently working on at the moment. So I can definitely see a change in the way the tourism industry is interacting with the market. People are demanding more things, first of all, because most of their stays can be personalized. There's AI chatbots out there right now that allow this level of communication for the tourism for the tourism industry to give their demands and their preferences, you know, and that's going to change the industry as a whole. So we can really see the rise of AI chatbots, guest communication, and that's currently what I'm working on within my company as well. But I think one of the main functions that I think is going to be a big change in how hotels or operators decide to navigate the space is internal operations. One of those being revenue decisions and pricing. Pricing is obviously a very, very big part of the tourism industry. And I think something that's changed dramatically with AI, but also after COVID. We see that guests, their booking paces and booking windows are a lot closer to the check-in dates. So that's kind of why I decided to focus more on the internal predictive modeling of revenue management. And that's kind of how I started into the space of AI software. I did this first internally for my own company, but now I sell the software to other operators as well. And essentially what that does, or the AI within this model does, is it uses different variables in the industry that AI is very good at scraping, like events, occupancies, conferences, information about your past history. So all of this information that we have and we've captured as hotel operators, we can then use to navigate our way forward in terms of how to meet the market in terms of pricing. And I think that's one of the biggest things where hotels or apartments can really focus now, especially or the entire tourism industry can really focus on meeting the customer with their demands, with their new way of making bookings, with predictive pricing and more of a dynamic outlook on these things. Just to give some perspective on how these tasks were done in the past, you'd have a revenue manager that would change your pricing for your hotel rooms, and this would maybe happen once a week, or they'd have a plan for the week. Today, we see hotels changing prices every single day. Personally, our hotel changes our pricing up to 7 times a day with our automated software. A simple example would be, there's an event next week, we have limited availability. The AI then ups the price or suggests a higher price because there's limited availability, and the AI knows there's going to be an event, obviously increasing demand as well. So there's a lot of points where I guess companies, operators can start integrating AI to really meet the customer in a more efficient way moving forward. Revenue is obviously one of them. Like I said, guest communications, is already chatbots out there. Expedia is also partnered with ChatGPT in providing distribution as well to the customer. So that's also another area that's going to change dramatically in terms of how a hotel or how a tourism operator makes himself available on these different platforms. The same as SEO rise for organic search, the same will happen for AI. And yeah, it really depends on how companies, now that we have a more level playing field, take advantage of that, you know, and I feel like there's a lot of high leverage, small tasks that can be done within an operation that can really change the way they meet the booker or the traveler.
Thank you so much, Motar. That definitely is something. AI is easy to integrate. That's what it's all about, right? So you talk about SEO. It's already in digital, so you can boost easily. So already the travel, it's majority turn out to be digital. Already people, how they travel, how they're booking, how they organize stuff, how they reach out to people, how they're reaching guides, how they're reaching operators. It's almost digital in much as possible, any possible ways in the world. And since it's just an upgradation, so it's not something alienate technology, something in medical or in agriculture field where people find technology and AI adaptation like an alien. It's a UFO. It's not something you're familiar with. In tourism, it's much more easier. So that makes a lot of sense, integrating AI with tourism. So as you rightly said, the agents, agentic AI play an amazing role. If a customer care can communicate in 120 language fluently and can talk through voice and text and sharing images and talk 24/7 without get frustrated, bargain with people, and just organize packages from every single operator, it's an impossible task for a human, and for AI, it's just a child's play at the moment. So I think this is your pinpoint of amazing place where now through AI, scalability, it's unbelievably possible. Where an operator can reach thousands of people, they can operate 24/7, and things can get automated. You just take a picture of your passport through WhatsApp, and that's the input is already booking process is started. So the automation and agentic AI can play an amazing role in terms of expansion. So that's lead me to the next speaker. We have Ivan. So pleasure to meet you, Ivan. It's an honor to have you as well. So Ivan Ivanovic, a travel tech marketing and AI strategy consultant. It's a new trend of an industrial name. Ivan brings more than 25 years of hard-earned experience working with travel tech and destination brands. It's known global brands. What makes his voice special today is focus is a practical AI, automated content engines, AI-powered led gen workflow, and systems that actually work in real world while keeping the travel story deeply human. So those are very, very powerful codes, Ivan coming today, which has human experience with AI. And so Ivan, so I lead to a point with the scale with Motar's conversation. So now the AI do the operation very efficiently. So that's what Motar is talking about throughout its session. So I'd like to know how this branding and how it's reached the global audience, how it can reach to a bigger network of people around the world to make sure the tourism industry is picking up. So Ivan, it's over to you. How you see the branding with AI can be expanded to reach more people? I think he has some technical issues, I believe. So for Motar and Peter, so this is a small discussion regarding where we are talking at the moment. So there's a burning question which is popped up throughout the presentation. So coming from like a common man from global South, where the developing nation, we don't travel much globally, basically because of the expenses, affordability, and so on. Can AI and this efficient model of tourism can reduce the cost and make sure like billions of people can get used to traveling and vacations can be possible for the global South? Basically, can technology can reduce the cost of travel, cost of tourism, where common man can travel throughout the world? Is it something you guys think through? Can technology can transform? Either one, maybe Motar or Peter, you can answer this.
Yeah, I mean, technology has always promised for the last 20, 30 years to reduce the cost of doing things. And in many cases it has, but overall prices have still increased. Now, if we look at travel as a whole though, prices haven't increased. I can remember catching flights between Europe and the UK in the late 1980s, early 1990s, and they were £400-500 UK then. That flight today is £50 UK. So certain sectors of travel, as technology increases and the market increases, it does bring the price down. But technology isn't the only player in pricing. There's the cost of operating. If you're running a hotel, there's the cost of building a hotel, there's the cost of operating the hotel, the food, the staff, all the stuff that goes into it, the maintenance. The world as a whole is suffering from inflation. In some destinations, higher inflation than in others. So you have two competing forces going on. Technology does lower the cost, but inflation is rising the cost. So I don't think we're in a position to say that AI is a given, that it will reduce the cost in developing locations around the world to enhance travel from a cost point of view. What I would say is more likely is AI will bring these developing countries and developing destinations up to fully commerce and fully integrated global destinations because of AI, which will release great wealth into there, which will probably actually in some ways force the price of travel up. Because if people are getting wealth coming from other activities in other parts of society, it normally puts the price of things up. So I think we're in a complex world situation where AI certainly makes more things efficient, but I don't think it's baked in that it will reduce the price of travel.
Perfect. So how do you think, Peter, or more like, so because of the efficiency, because of the scale is expanding, usually that's how any business works, right? With the scale, the margins can be improved. So if the AI can work 24/7 and it can like bringing in huge amount of business, can that reduce the cost? Obviously, I can understand there's a fixed cost in terms of bringing that experience, that are human involved and experience, but can that make any kind of affordability change in the middle where we can get some benefit? Like, because I don't see anyone saying in Sri Lanka like it's getting winter, we are moving out. I never heard somebody say that. So how do you think tourism can be expand for the global south?
Tourism will expand in the global south purely because the global south is going to industrialize rapidly on the back of technology. But that means as wages increase, supply and demand, what normally happens is tourism doesn't necessarily get cheaper. As you've noticed around the world in tourism at the moment, the most popular hotels to be opened aren't 1- and 2-star hotels, they're 5-star hotels. Therefore, the opportunity to make money if the demand is there goes with it. Now, in pure technology terms, as we've seen with aircraft and pure technology, it will bring down the cost of certain things. But at the same time, certain things in tourism cost reduces, other things the cost won't reduce just because of market forces.
Makes sense. Definitely makes sense. So Ivan is back.
Yes.
So Ivan, thank you so much. I think you are alive right now. So Ivan, we were discussing about the scale right now. So that's what the question we have discussed. With the scale, we talk about whether the cost can be reduced because the efficiency is getting improved. Many people getting involved, but still. We didn't touch that point, how that scale can be possible to the consumers, like the branding side of it. And you are an expert on that industry. Love to get some thoughts from you. How you see the branding with AI and the global expansion with AI technology in tourism is moving towards, with your 25 years of experience, of course.
Yes, of course. First, excuse me for this, technical issues. And thank you, first of all, for the invite and for the introduction. And then thanks also to Peter and Motar for great introduction also. And thank you for the attendees to be here with us. I would like to twist a little bit your question towards most important issue for me, at least in any business and especially in tourism. So for me, AI should never be the first step. The first step should be the strategy. So many tourism try to plug in, just AI models just like that, and in a way which is unclear, so to say. So first, you should know exactly before implementing the tools to have the quick strategy, at least on one page, so to say. And I know for sure, from my experience, most of the businesses, especially in travel and tourism, don't have this kind of strategy. So, for example, who is your ideal customer, or your ideal client? What exact experiences you do sell? Or how do you differentiate yourself from, let's say, main three competitors? And what is the main promise that you are actually delivering and making to your guest? So once this is clear, we can map up the key workflows that deliver that promise every day. Only after that, you should, as a business, decide where AI can support and how these workflows. So this would be my first point. And for sure, from my experience and from my point of view, as I already mentioned, many businesses does not approach in this way in business, and especially, as I've mentioned, in travel and tourism. I would say how you can leverage AI in particular tools that are available, as Peter already mentioned, to the bigger guys now. Any small or mid-sized travel agency or tour operator or hotelier or whatever. Okay, DMO is a different situation. They're already on a state budget, so to say. But any small travel agency can leverage AI tools. But the way how they leverage that makes a real difference. And how you can do it actually is by prompting properly, so to say. First of all, what I have realized, I know Peter knows that from his rich experience of, for sure, Motar also, and that is that most of the brands and travel businesses are not aware of all the tools or most of the tools. For example, they know for ChatGPT. They are leveraging these tools on a free tier, and if they are leveraging, they're using like free tier of these tools and using it on a really basic level. What I would highly suggest is, of course, to have a paid tier. That's the first point, and the second is to make your strategy. So around the big strategies like, market research, everything else, competitors, marketing strategy, branding strategy, as you already suggested, all this kind of research and documents which will point your business in the direction that you want to go, then you should go also to implement AI tools on a strategical way, so to say, from top to bottom, from leaders, and from bottom up from employees. So in both ways, that this is also crucial. And what makes real difference is prompting. So prompting is what makes the difference if you are in the AI space and if you want to leverage the AI in the proper way. So for example, I would like to suggest, for example, one workflow around this, and that is to prompt the AI tools. Let's make it around ChatGPT, for example, Claude or Gemini. Gemini is now really powerful with Gemini 3. And you should prompt it how to prompt the tool itself. You should ask it how to prompt it. So this workflow, certain also many professionals in AI are not really proficient in this part. So you should ask it, for example, ChatGPT, how I should prompt you to get, in this particular case, for example, the master prompt. So that means when you have a master prompt, instead of just typing something different every time and in every case, you should ask it and tell to your LLM model or whatever AI tool you're using, who you are as a business, who is your ideal client, ideal guest, what is your brand voice, and what particular case you want AI to help you with. And then this becomes your master prompt. And then every time, for example, if you're using ChatGPT as an example, every time when you open the ChatGPT as an internal AI assistant, you start from this master prompt with your proposals, emails, landing pages, content, whatever you're producing. And in tools like ChatGPT, particularly, you can make a so-called custom GPT. I don't know how many people are familiar with this. It's like a small software within ChatGPT, and it makes really powerful model from it if you leverage it in this way that I have explained, using the master prompt and everything around your business, and then you produce the content or the itineraries, whatever you want to do it. Of course, it should. This is actually where small teams get real leverage, so to say, not from random posts that you copy paste from the internet or from some other, resources. And then well-designed master prompt reflects their own strategy and their own workflows. And of course, everything should be edited in a human way, and that is how you get let's say the real tangible workflow around leveraging AI tools in branding and strategy, in producing, and in this type of workflows.
Thank you, Ivan. I mean, that's triggered so many incidents. What happens in the past, because I was traveling, as you guys know, in the past days. Even though we built agentic AI applications on tourism industry, like bots integrated with WhatsApp and a lot of things, it's always inspiring how much information the large language models are considering. And Peter just put in the chat, you can see there's a reference for ChatGPT prompts and menus for 100 suggested prompt for small tour operators. Thank you so much, Peter, for that. It's an amazing resource. Definitely, you guys need to work on that. And most important, interesting fact, Ivan, I was in Accra for the last 2 weeks. So I was checking, tomorrow morning, I'm going to Makola market, which is a flea market in Accra. Obviously, for the first time in Africa, I was like little concerned how things works, and I just checked with ChatGPT. Obviously, it gives like a tour plan, how you can spend the day, but how much information it's considered was really impressed, ChatGPT 5. So basically, it's considered tomorrow's weather. It suggests if there is a rain predicted on this particular time, if you are going outside, wear clothes which is wet free and you take an umbrella. Usually at Makola, in the reviews, Google reviews, people suggest it will be very hot after morning hours. So wear easy cotton clothes where you can travel around. But it's specifically for that day, it's considered tomorrow it's going to be raining. It's get the weather information also considered when suggesting that feedback. So it's real time. It's impossible for your tower guide to say that. So they will simply say, as usual concern, it will be hot in the daytime. So wear simple clothes. But they definitely not going to consider it going to be raining tomorrow. So that's the beauty of AI, how much data it can feed. And so thank you so much, gentlemen. It's a great pleasure. I mean, it's really an eye-opener how things moving in the industry. And we get plenty of feedbacks from the social media as well. And people are chatting in the chat box. People suggesting, like Ali Pay is suggesting about understanding the customer is the golden rule. So by Ali. And there's another comment from Immaculate Dallo. He talked about this is rich. and he's praising all the resources. It's great to note that human touch is important in the travel and tourism sector as the incorporation of AI. So these are some of the comments, and I have a couple of questions. And there's one more question from Ruan from Sri Lanka. What is the AI role in SEO? What is the future of traditional travel websites that don't facilitate AI? So anybody, maybe Motar or Peter or Ivan, do you want to take this question?
Anybody can do it. I can do it also, but if the gentleman wants to start, they can. If not, I can start. But I will just say.
Yeah, Ivan, you can start since you're in the screen.
Yeah, of course. This is a great question, by the way, and it's really, really relatable. I have nowadays, in the last period, since this year, I have pivoted to travel tech companies, moreover, bridging them with travel brands, right? And they have their own solutions. And what we have realized that most of the travel brands, no matter where they are not aware, first of all, of LLMs as a search tool, because the search is changed already. And it's not in the future; it's the present. It's happening right now. It doesn't matter. I would say it's not only Gen Z. It's going like that. So where the search is going is absolutely via the AI tools, AI platforms, dedicated platforms for travel specifically, not only LLMs like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever. And the search is going towards a generative engine optimization, or how they say in marketing, it's not anymore like search engine optimization, it's search everywhere optimization. So that means you should be everywhere, but not immediately. It's impossible, at least if you don't have all the resources of this world, so to say, or you're really a big company with big marketing budgets and big teams. But where AI search is going, in particularly in tourism, is in this direction, because you will be, if you are not cited via LLMs particularly, you will be invisible to the traveler. So there are technical ways. I'm not the biggest expert in this field. Of course, I have some vendors with whom I collaborate in this field, of course. And I have my also LinkedIn Live, where I have a pleasure to host Peter, one of the first guests. And I also had one really prominent lady, Ms. Victoria Ludeman. She's an expert in this field, to be AI cited within the LLMs. So it's really important to realize this fact that travelers are looking for the information, and the search is changing rapidly. So what you can do as a brand, there are technical issues, not to bother the attendees so much, like schemas and JSONs and around your website. Moreover, you should provide, you should be the source, so to say, of the information, if possible, to be cited in prominent, media companies. Of course, not everybody can be cited in Forbes, or I don't know, wherever, or some other dedicated platforms for tourism. But also, you should have on your website, you should have really comprehensive part for FAQs, for frequently asked questions and answers, and as my guest used to say, frequently unasked questions. So moreover, provide really resourceful answers to the questions that travelers are asking. This is the way how search is changing.
Thank you so much, Juan. That's a really eye-opener. So definitely, it's a summary, like it's good to be in the AI. So that's where all the search is moving towards. But if you are not in AI, definitely you have to reachable through AI, through FAQs, and you have to have those information where AI can reach and point you where you want to be disclosed. Motar, you want to add anything, because I think you are working with the travel operators and all. So this is a direct question. So whether AI role in SEO, what happens if companies which don't involve in AI and facilitate AI in their website and so on going to face in the future?
Yeah, 100%. So I think definitely in terms of traditional SEO, AI right now still has a function in optimizing a lot of the copywriting, especially that websites can put out there to optimize their organic search results. But like Ivan said, it is right now where optimizing yourself on these different AI platforms is the way of the future. You already know when you search on Google, their first answers are now the AI, the Gemini suggested answers. And yeah, I think people or companies and hotels that don't make themselves available on these or make themselves put themselves in line and expose themselves within this AI system, they'll definitely access less customers and they'll be able to access less of their customers. Because AI directs so well, people are going to expect to find experiences that match what they want, and I guess that level of personalization only goes once you step into that AI ecosystem and optimization. So I think if you are not optimizing yourself, you're going to lose out on market share. And right now we can use traditional SEO still with AI in terms of optimizing our copyright and our website and our branding. But it's really when we start taking the AI optimization seriously where we can really see real results. And I can say that from a personal experience of what we're doing as Smart City Stays as an apartment hotel brand.
Exactly. So that exactly more like every single day there are hundreds of marketing tools, AI-powered marketing tools released open source and free. So there's no specific reason if you already are in tech, like you have a website, that means you're already considering digitalization into your industry. There is no reason, if it cost is the reason to avoid AI, I don't think that's a necessary activity, because every day 100 plus plugins and tools being released, which is open source and free in SEO and other aspect with AI. So I think this is wise to be in AI. Being adamant, it's not something good for the business for sure. So be flexible. Pivoting is something definitely entrepreneurs need to consider. So I think every industry should consider AI going forward, which basically is up your entire work. So that's what the conversation is all about. I think there are questions pouring in from social media. So if anybody interested to talk to our resources, maybe we have another 5 minutes max to raise up your hand. You can use the icon or you can put it in the chat. I have one question from social media from Ali K. It's a discussion we already had, Peter. This is an opposite of what I asked. So I wanted to ask like how it can be affordable with AI, but this question is something interesting. How can AI help in luxury travel industry? How can AI help into redefining the concept of luxury into tourism? So this is from Ali. So Peter, if you want to touch upon those points.
Sure. Just back to the previous point before I address that point. If you're thinking about how to be discovered in AI discovery at the moment, again, we can learn from history. The companies who mastered SEO way back in 1999, 2000, 2001 had a massive competitive advantage. Right? Before people had heard of the word SEOs, companies were mastering it. So early movers in this space create deep moats where you protect your business if you're an early mover and you get into the space early. So that's the first thing. This is not something to wait. Right? You have to start showing up in AI results. And the second thing is the way people search on AI is different from the way they search on Google. It's much more intent driven. So what does that mean? From the data we're seeing, conversion rates on AI intent are anywhere between 2 and 6%. Now, when you look at Google search, conversion rates are way less than 1%. And then when someone clicks onto a website, it's way less than 1%. So if you're going from less than 1% to 6%, between 2 and 6%, your conversion and your business is growing rapidly. The third thing on that is you have to think about two types of content. Right? We've been lucky for the last 30 years. We've been making one set of content just for human beings. It goes onto websites, it goes onto blogs, it goes into places, and it gets discovered by that big monster called Google. Today, we have to create content for humans still, but we also have to create content for AI. The content for AI needs structured in a different way from the content from humans. And if you're serious about building a larger business, you're going to have to create an awful lot more content for AI than you will for humans. So moving on to the luxury. Luxury is an interesting market. It's a very fast growing market. It's one of the fastest growing markets in travel. The word luxury is very wide though. It can be high net worth individual right at the 1% luxury down to someone who's having a once in a lifetime spend at the lower end of luxury. So luxury is very wide. How can AI help at that end of the luxury? If you take a luxury customer who books a luxury hotel or a luxury tour, invariably they only have a human connection with a guide or with someone in the hotel, with a restaurant, with a waitress or waiter at the restaurant or a bar serving them. They only have a human connection in any given 24-hour period for about 2, 3, possibly 4 hours. They have no real other connection with the brand of the luxury or the infrastructure of the luxury. They're going around. So if you have an AI guide there in your brand of luxury who is helping that client, if you have a luxury property, helping with the client with everything to do that property can do for you and in the destination. So they've basically got a personal concierge on their phone that can act like the real hotel concierge and guide them around the city. So you're taking luxury to a new level because you can actually interact with the guide with the client 24/7, whereas even in high-end luxury resorts, that's not happening. Now, obviously, part of luxury is doing everything on the client's terms. So the client only wants to interact when they're ready to interact. But today they're having to pick up phones or go and find someone to get their questions answered. AI is going to be able to provide luxury concierges that provide everything a luxury customer wants, when they want it, where they want it.
Thank you so much, Peter. I think this is a perfect ending for the session. So if you talk about, the biggest ad spenders in Google, even against all these trillion-dollar companies, Expedia and Booking.com is on top 10. So this is something to consider. Definitely the digital transformation plays a major role if you want to beg against competitive advantage on this particular experience-oriented industry. So I think it's an amazing session. Not enough time to talk with all these knowledgeable people around, and we have more questions and more people who want to talk. But the feedback forms are open, and you can definitely communicate through us. We can introduce our resource people if they are interested to talk with you. If you have a concept to talk with our resources, we are more than happy to connect. And that's lead me to the tail end of the session. So to thank our resource people. Thank you so much, Peter, Yvonne, and Motar. It's a great pleasure to talk, and I'm pretty sure it's not enough time to pull out all your knowledge, 50, 100 plus cumulative knowledge base. So we'll have another session in the near future, so where we can get some more input from you all. And meanwhile, it's great pleasure to meet you all and pleasure to host you today. Thank you so much for the opportunity to host you, and it's a great pleasure to meet you all. Have a nice day, everyone. It's signing off from SenseMate. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. All the best.
All the best.